Once we're in SHTF, how are we going to survive and what are we going to eat? What's up, preppers? Welcome back to another video. This week I'm going to be surviving for 5 full days purely on rations from the prepper pantry. All the recipes, everything I make will have to come from this room. Nothing fresh, no fresh milk, anything like that. Boil all my water and live as if it was SHTF and see how the diet affects me, affects my mood, my body, and how much energy I have. We'll be doing it as if it's rationing with SHTF as well, so we won't be having like 10 tins of something for a meal just to get the energy up. It'll be realistic, it'll be spreading it out best we can, and it'll be 3 meals a day. So starting tomorrow morning, we'll be going with breakfast. Pretty much breakfast every single day is going to be oats with just water, possibly a spoon of honey or a spoon of jam for flavour if I want. My target is to not really snack much because I know that snacks will be the first thing that disappears out of this prepper pantry come an SHTF situation, especially with kids in the house. So this is based around just meals, possibly making the third meal of the day the biggest and maybe topping it up with something like some fruit or some rice pudding as kind of a pudding, which will keep me going throughout the night. In the mornings, I'm trying not to eat till as late as possible. Kind of a bit of a fast in the morning, but it just means that the meals are spread out a bit better. Nothing's going to change on my daily routine with that. I am off work at the moment, but work, as most people know, is me sat at a computer. So if anything, I'm probably going to be using more energy. I'll be doing filming, I'll be doing other videos, I'll be doing lives, and I'll be cycle training still for my charity event at the end of the next month. So all of this on a prepper's diet. How will I fare? Let's find out. It's about 10:30 in the morning, trying not to eat too early, so a bit of a fast in the morning, get some jobs done and stuff like that before we eat for the first time. It just makes them 3 meals last a bit longer through the day. No extra cooking for that because we don't want to waste the fuel, so I'm just going to let it soak in this hot water. This was boiling water. Let it soak for about 5-10 minutes. Should be good enough to eat there. Not as good as our overnight oats, which we'll start to prepare now, ready for the next day. My overnight oats will be super simple. Just take whatever you're using for a measure, and if it's 2 level ones of them, off that into your jar. 1 could be enough. I'm going to do 2. I like to get a decent size. Oats are something we do have an abundance of. I like to get plenty of energy in the morning. So we're going to go for 2 scoops of oats, and then we do exactly the same amount of scoops for water. Depending on your consistency, you might want to add a touch more water or a bit less, depending on how thick you want it. But I like to have it just like that, so you can see a level of water just floating above the oats. At this stage, if I want to add anything extra in there, like some chia seeds or any sort of nutrition, vitamins, anything like that, honey, jam, anything for flavour, get that all in there, seal it up, and then just keep that in a cool place till the next day. While you've got power, that's the fridge. If not, potentially outside or in a cool place like a garage or storage. Yeah, that's been there for about 5 minutes. Probably is a bit longer if you want it softer. But it's a consistency good enough to eat. It's not pure slime. It's just oats. Adding a touch of honey would give it that sweetness. Potentially a bit of sugar if that's something you stockpile as well. I think I've got that used to this that I could just eat it as it is. That's breakfast, day 1. I'll see you at lunch. So it's just about 1:30 on day 1, and we are going to go with sweet and sour chicken with rice. 300 grams and about nearly 400 calories, 12 grams of fat, and 56 grams of carbohydrates. Not too bad. Just going to go for this on its own. Should be fine just for a lunchtime meal. Sorry, I couldn't help myself rushing there. Boiling water, and we're simply going to pop that in to get a heat. We have a steamy pot MRE. Now, the instructions say 7 to 8 minutes. I leave it for about 10 minutes. I like to overcook it, if anything. But it should be too hot to touch on the main base and steam coming out of it in the end. Ooh, it smells very sweet and sour-esque. This will be lunch. Some big chunks of potato, chicken, pineapple, all sorts in there to make up this sweet and sour. But we'll make sure we get every little bit and eat all of it, because we don't want to waste anything when we're on such a strict diet. Chicken's tender, really nice. I'm going to go and enjoy my lunch. So that's a sweet and sour chicken with rice, military MRE for lunch on day 1. See you at tea time. It is dinner time, tea time, whatever you decide to call it where you're from. But I'm not that hungry. That chicken and rice filled me up from lunch. So I'm going with a solo tin. And it's one of my favourites when it comes to prepping, and that I eat regular. And it's baked beans and sausages. This works out at 428 calories, 10.8 grams of fat, 53.4 carbohydrates, and 21 grams of protein. So that's going to be lunch, and part of lunch is this as well, which is a ginger pudding with ginger sauce. And that's, if I feel like it, I might not even have this yet, but we'll see how it goes. Don't really need to show you this. Open it up, stick it in a pan, warm it up, eat it. So that's dinner sorted, and that's all our meals. The challenge now is going to be not eating in the evening. We have left tea quite late. It's about 7:30 now, so it shouldn't be too bad. Water and good old British Army coffee and tea is the only thing I can have now in the evening. That's the end of day 1, guys. Not really felt particularly hungry. Didn't really feel like snacking. I was okay. I didn't have the pudding in the end with the tea, just the sausage and beans, and that's kept me. I've had 1 coffee, 1 tea, both using sweeteners, both using powdered milk, and yeah, and a cup of water. That's about it. I think I'm ready to retire for the evening, and tomorrow, same diet, but throwing in quite a long cycle with it as well. So we'll see how that goes. Super easy this morning. We are having the slow oats that we prepared yesterday for breakfast. I'm having breakfast at past 12 o'clock because we've had a chaos morning with flat tires and all sorts. But it means the meals will spread out throughout the day. But I definitely need this now. So I'm going to go and eat this, and that's breakfast sorted. Lunch today is going to be a can of spag bol. I said in a recent video I want to get rid of all these Heinz tins, so I'm using this as an opportunity to do that. In this can we are looking at 320 calories, 6 grams of fat, 53.4 grams of carbohydrates, and 12.8 grams of protein. So not a bad meal for lunch. I'll have that whole can, nothing to show you, tip it out, heat it up, eat it. That's the one. And I'll see you at dinner time where we'll have something a bit more in depth. We are at dinner time on day 2 and we're going to make corned beef and potato hash purely from the Prepper Pantry. This is a recipe I've done before, but I'll go through it super quick. You want any more details, you can go back and see the previous video on that. Just give it a search. But I'm going to show you everything we're going to be doing, and I'm just going to whiz through it really quickly. It's going to be all done in a single pan, and we are using tinned carrots. Carrots don't usually go in my corned beef hash, but a bit of nutrition never goes amiss. Tinned potatoes, a can of corned beef, some gravy granules, some salt, some black pepper, and if we need it, a bit of water fresh from the gravity filter. We're going to put our pan to one side, and this first bit's the most fiddly bit. And first, I'm going to use the lid and just put the water into the pan. So it's just our potatoes left in there. These potato cans have like an enamel painted lining on the inside, and the larger cans, so in SHTF I will not be getting rid of them. They'll double up as containers, cups, water carriers, anything like that. We're going to take out the potatoes, big or small, and we are simply slicing it up into slices about 1/2 centimetre thick. So we end up with something like that, and putting them in the pan. So we'll whiz through this. There we are. Almost looks like bananas on the camera. All them into the pan. Now, usually between each thing I'd clean my chopping board, but it's SHTF. Who can afford the extra washing water? So we're not worried about cross-contamination at this stage because it's corned beef, it's potatoes, it's all going in the same pot. So opening our corned beef, top tip, probably already know this, but you never know, someone might not. If you take the paper off first, there's less chance of your key slipping and jamming. There we go. Same applies for this. I'm not going to trim the fat off or anything like that. Fat is flavour, I don't mind it. I'm going to cut this into slightly bigger slices, about 1 centimetre, just over. Everything's according to taste, so however big or small you want it. And I'm going to take it down the middle, like that. And then I should be able to lie it on its side and do centimetre spaces again, which will make cubes. They might not look like cubes at the stage because they're pushed together slightly, but it will break up into the cubes. Now, at this stage you might want to stop and then season, but I am adding carrots for 2 reasons. 1, the nutrition. 2, there's more water in the carrots tin as well. I want to see if everything is below waterline. I kind of want everything to sit below waterline, which it almost is, but I am going to top it up with a bit of the water like that. So that is the final result. I'm going to get that on a medium heat, bring it to the boil, keep stirring it, bring it down to simmer and keep stirring it. Now remember, everything we've put into this is ready to eat from the can. The potatoes, the carrots, the corned beef, you can eat it straight from the can cold. So the only exercise here is to warm it up. However, the longer you can cook it, the more it will break down and then flavours will seep in. As it starts to boil, I will add my salt and pepper and sprinkle touches of gravy granules just to give it taste and thicken it out. Not excessive, we don't want it like a paste, we just want to flavour that water that's with it and keep it seasoned and taste as we go. All this is according to taste when it comes to seasoning. But the core 3 ingredients are right in there, cooking up, and we'll see how it turns out. So, full portion, and there's still probably 1.5 portions in there. So, definitely a hearty meal, gonna fill you up. If I have to go back for seconds, I will. Nothing will get wasted. I could potentially tub it up and save it till the next day as well. Oh, perfect. It was better. It's always going to be better with fresh potatoes. So if you grow your own, that's going to be even better. But even with the tin potatoes, it's a great meal. Very filling, nutritious, loads of calories in this one. Definitely need that after today. Energy's been a bit up and down, especially not having breakfast till so late. So it's definitely much needed. And the fact with this, I could even have some supper. I'm still well within my rations for the day. Yeah, it's a great addition and a good one to survive the apocalypse on. All right, guys, end of day 2. Energy levels have been okay. Bit lacking this morning because I went through the whole puncture saga with the tyre and didn't actually get breakfast until after 12. But the corned beef potato hash certainly made up for that. I had 2 portions of that in the end. There'd be enough for 3 people easily if you were rationing. But for the cost of 3 tins, 2 dirt cheap, and then obviously your corned beef, which is a bit more, it was definitely a good hearty meal. So not doing too bad so far. Not sure what's on the menu tomorrow, but I'll see you then. Day 3, instant oats this time, smallish portion, and got a spoon of honey in there. Bit of sweetness in the morning with a morning coffee. That's all I'm going to need today. Afternoon, guys. It's about 1 o'clock, day 3. Just been fighting with a locking wheel nut, so hopefully get that sorted soon. Taking a break to have steak and vegetables with dumplings. This is a military ration again. This was best before April 25, so just out or thereabouts on the money. So should be perfectly fine. They'll last a lot longer than that. If you need to, if you've got electricity, you can open this, squeeze it into a bowl, microwave it, or you can do it in the traditional way, which I'm going to do, which is boil in the bag. I realised last time I had it in the bag, so you didn't really see the full effect. So this is what you're getting. Lots of shreds of meat, and then these huge, dense suet dumplings. There's a cross section of one of them. You can see how dense they are, quite chewy, but nice, filling. So that'll do me for lunch. Don't think I'm going to need anything else. Still trying to avoid the whole stacking side of things, and we'll have a substantial decent traditional camping meal for tea. So stay tuned for that. Right guys, dinner time, biggest meal of the day, and this one is a big one. It's a can of sausage and beans, which comes in at 428 calories, and then a can of Ye Old Oak bacon grill. This is massive on the calorie count. This is another 496 calories. So we're looking at nearly 900 calories. Well, what are we looking at? 800, 900. So we're looking at over 900 calories just in these two cans. And we're going to put it all together and have it in one sitting. We're not going to overcomplicate this. First, we will get the bacon grill open. There we go. One big block of bacon grill. This is going to be very substantial food wise. Could easily do 2 people. Now you can slice this, you can do whatever what I like to do with it is literally cube it up. There we go. Some quite big hefty chunks there still, but it's all for me, so that's all good. The bacon grill is quite fatty on its own. You can put it straight in. Just for the non-stick, I've got some lard. You can use ghee, whatever you've got prepped up. But I keep lard on hand. I'm just going to grease the bottom of the pan there. Starts to heat up. We can just put our chopped bacon in there. And remember, same with the other things, this is all pre-cooked. So you can't go wrong with this. All we're doing is warming it, putting a bit of crisp on it if we like it, and just doing it according to taste. But you could eat this straight from the can, same with the beans and sausage. We'll keep that moving around until we start to see it like that. Get some light on it, where's the crisp on it. So that's starting to be cooked already. Just keep it moving around the pan for a bit. Doesn't all have to be exactly cooked perfectly, like I say, it's all pre-cooked, it's all going to be warmed through, but it's nice to have a bit of crisp texture with it as well. So get that to the position you want it in, and then we simply dump in our beans and sausage. Yes, I'm cooking this whole thing on a frying pan for 2 reasons. One, this is what I do on a campfire. And frying pans and big pans like that are much easier, even cast iron ones especially, are much easier to use on a campfire. So that's where I'm used to making this. It's just like a camp mess basically. And the other reason is I own 1 pan. Literally, I have 1 pan. All these random weird products that get offered from sponsorships, like a blowtorch that was offered to me recently, and I'm like, I've no use for that, I can't do that, I'm not promoting that for you. Nobody's offered me a good set of pans. I mean, the 1 pan I've got is a good pan, but it becomes troublesome when you're cooking multiple times. Anyway, so we just keep this moving. That's the key with this, I've found. Because you've got direct heat on it, whether it's on here or on a fire, just constant movement. We just want to make sure these sausages here, they're quite thick, and if I feel in the middle it's starting to get warm, but they take a while to warm through. So that's all I'm wanting to happen, is for them sausages to warm through, and then this can be served up and eaten. So that's it for day 3 and tea. That's going to keep me full all the rest of the night, especially with 900 odd calories. Just remember, when you're rationing, things like that bacon grill can be absolutely vital, because it gives you a big impact of calorie count. That spread over 2 people might not seem like much, but they're still going to be getting nearly over 450 calories each. sausage, bacon, beans. What's not to like? See you tomorrow. Morning, it's oats. I don't need to show you anything else. So, as per usual guys, plans have completely changed and now we're off to Scotland. So today's lunch is not going to be a prep, but it is going to be a prep. I've got a bar of military chocolates to sustain me, a pack of dried broad beans and a can of my long life protein, and that's all dinner's going to be today. What's up guys, dinner time, made it here. Good trip, good drive. I will say, because of being on this ration kind of diet, my energy levels have dropped. I don't sleep in cars, never sleep in journeys, just something I don't do, and I must have fell asleep about 2 or 3 times on that journey. I wasn't driving, by the way, just in case you think that. But yeah, it was, lack of energy I have noticed, but it's to be expected with a lower calorie intake. Not something that would, I think, affect me surviving. If I had to, I could still go out and do stuff. It's not a problem. It was just because I was sat there doing nothing that made me drop off more than anything else. So for tea, for dinner, whatever you want to call it, I'm not looking forward to this one. Vegetarian sausage and beans, which is the army ration run today. So best before September 2025. So let's cook this one up, give it a try. I kid you not, this absolutely reeks when I was cooking it. So I don't know if it's bad or what, but it was still within the best before. It might just because it's that vegetarian sausage, I don't know. First we'll try a bit of the beans. I mean, you can't get beans wrong because they're vegetarian anyway, right? Beans are beans, they're okay. So I assume the smell is coming from these vegetarian sausages. Give me a little cross section there. Pray for me. Oh no. Oh, I try not to waste food, but if that's not bad, I can't eat that because I can't trust my senses to tell me that's not already bad. If it's supposed to taste like that, that's horrendous. Oh dear. Yes, so I think it'll just be a bowl of beans for tea today. Something very wrong with that sausage. Let me know if you've had that before, if that's how it's supposed to taste. But if it is, oh, stick to meat. Right guys, hopefully not disappoint you. I am cutting this experiment short. I was going to do 5 days, I've done 4 days. In general, it's been fine. I've not really had a bad meal until this last one, this vegetarian one. I've had vegetarian foods before. I've had the vegetarian sausage rolls from Greg's and stuff, and I don't mind them at all. So it's not a jibe at that. This is just done really badly. Or that MRE happened to be off before the best before date, because it was still in date on the packet. It's been stored in the same place as all the others, and all the others are fine. So I can only put it down to that's how it's supposed to taste. So other than that, not really had a bad meal. I think learning from this, creating the dishes with multiple preps is the way forward. When we created the pork and beans and sausages, just throwing 2 tins together like that, we were looking at 900 calories, massive in a survival situation. And then also with our potatoes, our corned beef and carrots, and making that corned beef hash. Although it was 3 tins, that could have fed 2 people, 3 people, stretching it as well. And really good calorie dense energy food. As opposed to the MREs, which are obviously only if you need to bug out, if you need to travel, and using the single tin meals. Surprising how little calories you're getting from some of the single tin meals. So, lots to think about for me, how I organise my preps and how I'm going to plan meals. No longer counting just a single can as a single meal, because if I counted 3 cans for the 3 meals a day and I was only hitting like 600-700 calories out them 3 cans, it's not going to be sufficient, is it? So a bit more meal planning is what I've learned from this, and some more prepper recipes using the cans, which I'm going to come up with, and we'll do separate videos on them soon. I know a few people have requested some more prepper kitchen ones, so I'll be doing them. So hope you don't mind that I'm cutting it short, but we are travelling. I'm up in Bonnie, Scotland at the moment, visiting the in-laws, etc. So give us a shout if you're in the area. Hope you enjoyed this video for what it was, and I will see you all in another video really soon. Goodbye.